Yeah. Evening. How the hell is everybody? Happy Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon. Neat. This is not the first one of the day, guys. This is like number 3 or something. First thing right out the gate, got a few folks I want to thank. The biggest thank you is to Big Paul from, hopefully Big Paul watches this and not just Farmer's Channel, but Big Paul from Beeville. He got the dope looking green Dodge old pick 'em up truck. He's seen all the pain and suffering a guy was in Friday night during the live stream. Guys, the back was just twisted right up. Not even joking. I came home from the live stream, parked Butch in the barn here. I got the phone magnetical to set inside the cab of Butch. Barely made it in the house, went straight to the guy's chair, sipping on some Coors Lights. Gotta pass the chucker, you guys know, got the old man bladder, can't fucking wait. And I had to crawl down the hallway and into the bedroom, and yeah. So Friday night to Saturday morning was not a good time. 0.2% sleep, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, it wasn't fun. So Big Paul seen that, drove out not once but twice, because the first time he came out, I was racked out, finally got some sleep, and brought out one of them teeter-totter, the teeter things there where you hang upside down like a bat and, pull all the weight off your spine and shit. It stretches you out. And use it a couple times, First time, my ankles start bothering, and then it kind of works when you're in it, but then when I get out of it, it's just like, yep, it still feels the same. So I don't know if it's really, he said, hey, try it out. If you like it, it works for you, whatever, you can pick one up. But instead of spending the $300-400 to buy one, he's like, try this one first. I'm like, cool, appreciate you. So again, big shout out to Big Paul from Beeville. Thank you much, sir. I'll be running that thing back to you probably this weekend with Butch, hopefully, fingers crossed. The other big shout out is to all of y'all that have gone on the Mad Moose and bought some merch. Big appreciate you. I was just down there yesterday, and they're like, yeah, here's another credit, whatever. I'm like, well, cool. We'll put it towards that, whatever. So much appreciated. The other thanks, today, I don't know if you can tell, but, my eyes are fucking bloodshot like a bitch. So if you live in the Northeast, or even, I guess I just Googled it up all the way down to the Carolinas, all day today, it's almost like your neighbor's been burning his brush pile all day. You get that little smell and the haze there. Well, I guess, it's kind of true, because our neighbor's been burning a big-ass fucking brush pile. And when I get on the Google machine, which is a joke. I know, shouldn't even bother, but just to see. Well, because I don't watch the news or nothing, but I didn't know what was going on today. They're like, oh yeah, Canada's on fucking fire. I'm like, all right, neat. So I get on the Google machine to see why. And lightning said, all right, that happens, it's dry as fuck out right now. Well, it's, because of climate change, don't you know? I can't remember the name of the post. I'm just scrolling down through news articles or whatever, and of course, they got to throw in the climate change. So let me get this straight. This is the first, because of us humans, it's dry in Canada, and they got a fuck ton of forestry that they weren't taking care of, which probably if you ask some arborists or whatever, the people that are experts at, they probably could have told you how to do that. Kind of like what they do in California every year. If you've noticed how they won't listen to the forestry people and do a controlled burn, and then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose and they're on fire everywhere. Weird, So I can only assume, I don't know for a fact, some of you from Canada, I know there are followers, leave a comment down in the frick-frack box there and let a guy know if I'm speaking out my ass or if I got any truth to what I'm saying here. But it sounds to me like the politicians just, would rather just blame climate change than maybe their own shortcomings and not listening to people, the real experts. I digress. I'm just fucking saying. But all day today. And then I guess, we're probably going to have a little bit tomorrow. It's all the way down to the Carolinas. It's kind of thick. But, again, so I'm out in the city building some stuff and things. And here waltzes up the mailman, and he's got one of the blue face diapers on. And I'm just like, You ever give someone that look where it would just translate to what the fuck? Like, what is that doing for you, bud? First off, have you never sat next to a campfire? I mean, you're not going to die from it. I mean, yeah, it's kind of shitty out. I didn't really see that big a fucking deal. I mean, my eyes are burning like a fucker right now, but a fucking blue face diaper ain't going to fucking fix that. See another dude at the lumber door yard. Same fucking thing. What the fuck? Programming. If this same scenario was happening, I don't know, say 5 years ago, we'd see none of that horse shit. But that's fine. What a joke, as usual. So, wanted to get on a couple things that scares the Jesus out of the guy. I sent the link to Farmer, but it's a 3.5 hour long podcast. But the guy gets right to the point, like the first probably 20 to 45 minutes. Sean Ryan, which I've spoke about him numerous times on here, he was on, they call it the Concrete podcast. It's on YouTube. I cannot remember the name of the guy that actually, it wasn't like the Concrete, but it was like one of the hosts of said podcast that was interviewing him. And he was talking about, our favorite foreign country. China. And how if you start adding up all the stuff and the things that are coming in from said China and what they're doing, because we all of us know, the NPCs, they don't know because they're like this. But all of us know that these motherfuckers have been playing chess for years. Not checkers, fucking chess, right? So, let's just go through a handful of things like what Sean was talking about on that podcast. And hopefully I can remember all down, but just, take note of what a guy is talking about because he knows what he's talking about. I'm just verbatim what he said. So first and foremost, China virus came from there. Whether it was planned, on accident, whatever, came from there, zero repercussions to them. And not for nothing, but this is not the first time that some weird, crazy virus has come from China and fucked up the entire planet. I'm pretty sure the bird flu came from there. Correct me if I'm wrong, down in the frick box. Probably Carl. Any rate, so there's one. We got the China virus. We got number two, our supply chain. Just go to your local Walmart face or Target or wherever, Amazon, anywhere. Just look around you right now. Look what, if you're watching me on your phone or even Christ almighty, your TV. China. Everything is made in China. There's two. Number three, our pharmaceuticals. A fuck ton of our pharmaceuticals come from China. So there's three of them, right? Number four, which fucked me up, not so much pointing at the United States, but I didn't know this until I heard Sean Ryan speak of it. They're settling Africa. And I'm not talking about building little villages. They're building metropolitan cities with infrastructure and shit. Why? And what kind of favor is Africa going to owe them after the fact? Weird. And where's America at? Nowhere to be found. We're not helping out Africa. So they're like, so why would they sign on? Remember that whole BRICS thing? Brazil, Russia, India, China, Saudi. Maybe be another A in there for Africa, to shit can the American dollar. Think about that one. So there's that. Then they're buying up a shit ton of farmland and just real estate, period, in this country. I believe recently Big Ron DeSantis and Governor Abbott down in Texas said, nope, not happening in our fucking state. Well, I find it pretty fucking sad that governors have to pass a law that says a foreign country can't buy their property. That should be, I would say the Constitution needs to be amended, that no other country is allowed to buy property in this sovereign nation, period. End of story. Don't give a fuck. And I don't care if it's through this organization, because damn well it's backdoor bullshit, trusts, and this, that, and the other thing, I'm sure there's probably like 18 different fucking names of companies or whatever, but it all wrenches back to fucking China. So where are we at now? Anybody keeping count? 3, 4? So they're buying property. Okay, so they're in, the fentanyl crisis down at the border, they are 100% involved in that. I mean, they're literally sending scientists down to Mexico to teach these motherfuckers how to cook it. So there's that one. So what are we up to now? 6? So we got, so there's the fentanyl shit. Oh, they're producing pieces and parts of our own power grid. So like fucking, the big fucking round fricks on the goddamn telephone poles. I can't remember down. It'll come to me here in a second. It's been a long day. Plus my brains are a little fried. But they're literally supplying us with parts and pieces for our own power grid. You don't think there's something embedded into that where they can just, push a button and go boom, no power? And then meanwhile, let's not forget down that when that debacle of leaving Afghanistan after being there for 20 fucking years, China was literally in country fucking having talks with the Taliban before we even fucking left. Why? There's lithium in them fucking mines. And what are they going to do? They're going to mine the lithium there and sell it back to us fucking dummies that are falling for the new, the new Green Deal or whatever horse shit. Where are we at now? 6, 7 now? What else are they doing? I'm sure there's a fuck ton that they're doing. But that was a few of the major points that Sean was talking about on said podcast. And I didn't know about the Africa thing. And I had an inclination about them buying property. I just have no idea how much. I'm pretty sure we're probably in the thousands of acres, which is pretty fucking depressing. And then the whole, transformers, that's what they are. Transformers. We're getting Chinese transformers for our power grids. You don't think there's a fucking oh shit button that they can just press over in China? So just imagine in your brain noggin. Just let's take a second. I mean, let's just imagine that they, let's just fast forward 5, 10 years, right? And if we keep going down this progressive climate change bullshit fucking road and everyone's signed on with their fucking battery operated cars and all their fancy solar panels, where does all that stuff come from? Windmill stuff, I'm not sure if that comes from China, but I wouldn't fucking doubt it. Let's just say, because we all know that China's playing chess. Jimmy's always got his tinfoil hat on underneath his regular. Let's just fucking say 3-5 years down the road, all this progressive fucking bullshit and Green New Deal garbage, all that, and we got all this fucking green energy all over the fucking place, right? And then we have all this diversity, going in this country. We got the purple hairs over here and the trans testicles over there and lesbians over, and everyone's all just fucking, black, white, all that shit, right? All this garbage going on, diversity. That's just boiling, right? And then China be like, yep, we're good now, and boop, pushes the button and doo. No power, no nothing. No water, no internet, no, depending on what time of year, it could be no heat. Or down in y'all southern states, way down yonder where it gets fucking hot, be no fucking AC. I know for a fact that fucking cesspool of a city down south of here, New York City, they starve after 3 days. They got to have trucks every 3 days to bring in their fucking food. So what happens on day 4? Just think about that one for a hot minute. And think about where you live. And think about what you may or may not have in your freezer. You know what I'm saying? Little pew-pew things in your freezers. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying. Scary times, y'all. Scary times. And don't think for a second that China's not planning that kind of stuff. Because this is what the guy that was interviewing Sean Ryan said, well, do you know this for a fact? And Sean Ryan's like, well, let me answer your question with a question. I'm going to ask you the same thing in case you might be questioning me. Would you bet your life on it? Would you bet your life and your family's life that China wasn't doing something like that? Because basically that's what we're doing. Just saying. Scary shit, y'all. And the politicians have been selling us out to these motherfuckers for decades. Democrat and Republican alike, don't get it fucking twisted. They're all on, they're all just fucking boop, 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 lying in their fucking pockets, selling us out, all of our manufacturing, our pharmaceuticals, letting them buy our fucking land over here in this country. I mean, they're the ones that are letting this happen. They're the ones that are doing it. It's not like we voted for this shit, right? Ha! When do we ever get to vote for anything that has to do with with our money, especially? Never. Hardly ever, never. It's just, something to fucking think about. So, a guy wanted to come out in the barn. It's, my eyes are burning out here. It's like being, you know how it is when you're at a campfire, and no matter where you sit, the smoke just comes over. It's kind of like that all day, but not to that extent. But my eyes are fucking on fire today. Not liking it. Hopefully tomorrow it's done. It's funny because, I got the iFail here, and I got the weather on it. And then I click on, today before we left work, I clicked on tomorrow's weather. And it said, 15:15 tomorrow. 3:15 for y'all civilian folks. Tomorrow it's supposed to clear up. So exactly at 3:15 tomorrow, it's supposed to be clear. Sure, whatever. But again, I want to say big thanks to all y'all that have been buying the merch and shit. Go on there and if you got any ideas of what else you might want a guy to create, whatever, because it helps Mad Moose out. And all I do is when you guys spend money there, I just recycle it and the other neat stuff to come up with, either stickers. I was Farmer's got his "Are you getting it?" hat and shit. I was thinking about, everything's a fuck. Of course, we'd have to do something with the fuck part because we got the camouflage there. But everything's a fucking joke. You guys should make a shirt out of that. Get a picture of Papa Joe with fucking Mr. Tripp there, Air Force Academy graduation trip on my face, fucked hard. Yeah, because he's the face of strength. Ha! But this video has gone on for about 17 minutes and 11 seconds. So I appreciate you all that made it this far. Again, big thanks and shout out to Big Paul from Beeville for the teeter thing to stretch a guy's back. Big shout out to y'all that been buying merch and shit. Much appreciated. And we'll probably see you in the next one. Let's see. Guy's looking around for a code word. Oh, if you made it this far, code word is battery charger. I appreciate you. And remember, Don, if they don't like it, they can fuck off past the deer stand. See ya.